All right, today we're diving into a blueprint for a whole new kind of social network. We're talking about one that you can actually own, control, and shape into a real, self-sustaining community.
Have you ever felt this way? It's a question a ton of creators and community builders are asking themselves. You pour all this time and energy into building something amazing on a big platform, but at the end of the day, you're just renting the space. You don't own it, and the landlord can change the rules, or, even kick you out whenever they feel like it.
So, let's start by digging into this idea of the rented social web. We're going to look at the fundamental limits you run into when you're building your community on someone else's turf. And this is where the frustration really kicks in. First off, the platform owns your data, not you. Your unique brand, it gets squeezed into some generic cookie-cutter template. You don't really have direct control over your relationships with your own members. And maybe the most critical part, everything you've worked so hard to build is sitting on a fragile, centralized system that you have zero control over.
But what if you could flip that script? What if you could go from being a tenant to being an owner? Well, that's the big idea here, and it's called digital sovereignty.
And look, let's be super clear. Digital sovereignty isn't just some fancy buzzword. It's a huge foundational shift. It means you own the data, you own the member relationships, and you own the entire brand experience, all of it, inside a decentralized, secure ecosystem that you actually control.
This really captures the ultimate goal, doesn't it? When you have true ownership, you're not just running a little group anymore. You have the freedom and the tools to build a genuine movement.
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Well, it all starts with the member experience. Let's look at how you can design what the source calls people magic, from the very first moment someone decides to join. This is what a really great onboarding process looks like. Instead of just dropping a new person into a noisy, chaotic feed, you give them a guided, structured welcome. A personalized checklist actually walks them through setting up their profile and making that all-important first post. This is how you stop people from getting lost and leaving on day one.
But the experience goes way deeper than just onboarding. You can create what are called sovereign profiles, which use custom fields that are actually relevant to your community. That data then powers member discovery, helping people find each other based on real shared interests. And you can set up these awesome automated triggers that celebrate member milestones.
And this is a super fun detail, but it makes a big difference. When a member hits a milestone, you can literally make digital confetti rain down on their screen. It's a small touch, but it makes the whole experience feel so much more personal and celebratory.
So, all of these features are working toward one single goal: to transform your community from a place where people just passively scroll through content into a real hub of dynamic, active culture.
And these are the kinds of tools you use to build that culture. You can create custom reputation systems, rewarding members for helping others out. You can automatically give out badges for achievements, or even let members give recognition to each other. And forget the single boring feed. You can build custom spaces that mix articles, polls, and all kinds of discussions.
Okay, let's talk business. Because for any movement to be sustainable, it usually needs some kind of business engine behind it. So let's take a look at how a sovereign network can actually make money in a smart way.
The key word here is flexibility. You can set up tiered access, so you can use free content as a teaser to draw people in while keeping your premium stuff behind a paywall. You get total control over subscriptions, monthly, yearly, one-time payments, you name it. And best of all, you can use smart banners that only show upgrade offers to non-paying members. That way, you're not annoying your most loyal supporters. That's smart.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. The source material calls this the Web4 advantage, and it's a vision that's built on automation, integration, and that core principle we've been talking about, true ownership.
The real power of this model is that it lets you build a system that truly works for you. With powerful automations based on what your members are doing, your network can practically manage itself. It can onboard new people, it can nurture engagement, all of which frees you up to focus on the big picture.
And the great part is you're not building this thing in a silo. A sovereign network can integrate the tools you're probably already using: Stripe for payments, Zoom for live events, advanced embeds for your videos and podcasts, and a whole built-in analytics suite to track what's actually working. It becomes your mission control.
So let's just put it all side by side. The difference is pretty stark, right? With traditional platforms, they own the data. Here, you own it. They limit your branding to a template. Here, you have your full brand identity. They might offer some basic points.
Here, you can build custom reputation systems and badges. It's the ultimate shift, from a centralized ecosystem you don't control to a decentralized one that you own completely.
So that really brings us to the final question, and it's one for you to think about. When you have the tools for true digital ownership, with the ability to design your own culture and your own economy, what kind of movement will you build?